Jakiś czas temu właśnie na tym zakończyłam swojego streama oraz przygodę z L.A.Noire. Zapraszam do tego samego. Dobrze, o to chodziło.
Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
Sam has taken me to
New case.
Skipper, is the new letter genuine?
Now, boys, we all know how... many imbeciles have confessed to the short case. Ray Pinker will let us know in good time.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving
Isn't
up
that
to
the cop who
45.
caught the guy who was
I want to
pretending
stop
to
him
be
with
dead?
one round.
God damn!
Greetings from sunny California. When's it gonna stop? A fine morning indeed. We keep locking them up, but the bodies keep piling up.
Californians love a fat, Phelps. As long as the bricks hold up in San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to send.
First the letter, and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a killer still out there.
No, Phelps, all these arrests on your record are giving you a reputation. You don't want them turning into unsolved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows make it the man, Phelps. You can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make first hits.
Any Century into the possible 415 and O'Hara Street Plaza, unit to handle code 3, identify.
11K, go ahead.
11K, roger. Citizen reports at 415 and O'Hara Street Plaza. 11K, it's code 3.
You're crazy.
If I'm crazy, it's your fault. Running around behind my back. How am I supposed to trust you, goddammit?
Whoa, sir. I think you ought to calm down.
Mind your own goddamn business. Why is everybody always on my case?
Policjanta.
Officer Wells! Watch it! Don't shoot me! Give it up, old man!
You bastard!
Get the bastard.
Reinforcements are on the way. Cease.
Trudno, no. Umarł.
Roger, ambulance 11K.
You can drive.
Be advised, code 4 at the O'Hara Street Plaza.
To bym tylko no, jedyna opcja, jaką mogłam uczynić w tym kierunku.
Detectives,
Phelps and Galloway, homicide.
Scene is secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Not much trace evidence to speak of. Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body?
Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money, it's triple braid again.
Time of death?
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries.
Blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and mutilate.
Czyżby naśladowcy?
No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
Kasa, czyli to nie
Doesn't tell me anything.
Nie był na pewno napad rabunkowy.
Our driver and our killer are most likely one and the same.
Czekaj, jeszcze tutaj są jakieś ślady.
Never the same, are they? No drag marks. The killer was moving around, surveying the scene.
Ciało zbytnio dużo nam nie powiedziało, oprócz tego, że jak widać inny rodzaj liny został użyty do uduszenia tej kobiety.
What do you think?
Take a look around and see what you can find.
Nieistotne. Aha. To? Jakaś familia? Siostra, matka, ciotka, babka.
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
Do you have a description?
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I think he may have had an accident in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
Proszę się to nie martwić. Już ja to załatwię.
Phelps, 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Missing persons reports for white females over the last 48 hours.
One moment. We have 3 white females listed as missing, Detective. Myrtle Douglas,
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity of Signal Hill?
Just a moment, Detective. There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple and Sunset.
Thank you.
Jesus, missing persons reports. We're gonna be at this all night.
Gdzieś się śpieszy.
I think we ought to investigate the hobo lead.
Well, if you think we ought to, then I guess we ought.
You're behind the wheel.
Holy fuck. I thought you was my wife. I no one cares about that.
We're looking for a tall man with a disfigured face. You know him?
Huh? What? I fought in 2 wars, you know, son. I think I earned some peace and quiet.
Ah, the bum isn't here. We should follow the lead. These guys can wait.
Calling you stupid would be an insult to stupid people.
That's the one. About a week ago, this guy murdered his wife and dumped the body. But that's the cop who put him away.
You can't do this!
Isn't he the cop they've been talking about on the radio?
At least the rain stopped. You can change back into those white bucks now.
Sam is taking me to Palm Springs for the weekend.
What's your beef with this guy, Phelps?
Sorry, nie chciałam.
You've got bad news for one of the houses on that list, though. No use delaying.
This guy's got a screw loose. Slow down!
Any ideas?
You've got bad news for one of the houses on that list, Phelps. No use delaying.
That's the cop from the newspaper.
That's the one. About a week ago, this guy murdered his wife and dumped the body. But that's the cop who put him away. You are a modest little person with much to be modest about.
You got a reason to be acting like a jackass?
No dobra, ale gdzie znaleźć tego kolesia z uszkoconą gębą?
I don't know who you're looking for, and I don't want to know.
Ale wyglądał mi na tamtego. Chyba, że to ten. znajdę. Cholera go wie.
Try that again, asshole. That's a guy. I heard he's an honest cop. Now there's an oxymoron for you. I used to be indecisive. Now, I'm not so sure.
What now?
We've got bad news for one of the houses on that ridge. Don't use the light.
Czy całość? Nie wiem, muszę zobaczyć. Dobra, teraz jak stąd wyjść, bo tutaj najwyraźniej w tym obozie nie ma tego kogoś. Tego, kogo szukamy, takiego bezdomnego.
Can you drive to this one?
No dawaj.
This is a shot in the dark.
How can I help you, Sonny?
LAPD, sir. We've had a report of a missing woman.
Harry Douglas. I made the report. It's my wife, Myrtle.
How long has she been missing, sir?
Phelps, this isn't gonna help our cause.
Go ahead, sir.
What year is this, son?
1947, sir.
I would say for the best part of 12 years now.
I'm very sorry to hear that, sir. I hope she comes back.
I do too. I miss her.
Let's get out of here.
Żaden trop. Ślepy zaułek. Ta żona zaginęła 12 lat temu. Co to nam da? Kompletne zero.
The siren might keep people out of your way. What do you think?
Następny adres. West 4th Street. 1552.
LAPD, sir. We've had a report of a missing woman.
It's my wife. She's been missing for 2 weeks.
How old is your wife?
16, nearly 17.
And how old are you?
19.
And you had been fighting?
Oh, a little, I guess. She says she wants to go out and have some fun. And me, I'm working double shifts down at the Saval tool plant.
Try the bars along Sunset. We're out of here.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Raz mi kiedyś się zdarzyło, że w trakcie sprawy wsiadał mój partner za kółko. Po prostu jakiś randomowy kierowca go przejechał. I co było? Mission failed. Ostatni adres.
Hello? Yes?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Tarleton? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news. Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Tarleton?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss. I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Tarleton, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think
It's procedure. You see to your girls.
Twins.
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What's the problem, Tarleton? Let him search. You got nothing to hide. Want to hear something funny, Tarleton?
You check
Some
if she
bums
was a
think filling
regular.
out a missing persons report actually rules them out as a suspect.
If you'd excuse me, ladies.
Not sure this means much.
Go away unless you can bring my mommy home.
Myślisz, że jest takie proste? Owszem, mogę ci przyprowadzić mamę, ale w drewnianym pudełku. No,
I'll be out of your way momentarily, ladies.
raczej nieistotne.
Not everything here is going to be relevant. It doesn't appear to be connected.
Nowy Testament, czyli była religijna.
I wonder why the picture was turned down.
Pewnie się pożerli. I to w małżeństwie bywa.
Baron's bar again. Someone must be real sweet on this dive. Junk.
Junk to raczej rupieć. Coś w tym stylu. Boat?
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you run an address for a Bobby Ross? Then send some uniforms over.
Would you like him picked up?
No. Suspect says he was with Ross last night. We need to confirm the alibi.
I'll get a prowl car dispatched.
Thanks, ma'am. For the record, Mr. Tarleton, what is your wife's name?
Teresa.
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
To akurat prawda.
So you don't know anyone who would want her dead?
No, I don't.
You said you went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right. Bobby had a bunch of people over. We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
You let your drunk wife leave the party and go off on her own?
Look, I was angry. I was having a good time. She has to go and ruin it. We always have to do what she wants to do. Last night she wanted to go dancing.
Any idea where?
Where she always goes. Bar down on North Beaudry Avenue. Baron's bar. She goes there, drinks too much, gets maudlin, and calls me. I go and bring her home.
Mr. Tarleton, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
Spill it, Terrellson. We like the look of you for this, so you better give us something.
We're at the party. She has a few and says she wants to go out dancing. We only have the sitter until 9. I get mad. I tell her to go ahead, but I'm staying. She storms out. Look, I'm doing well at cards. I hardly ever do well. I married her because she was so much fun, but now she drives me fucking crazy.
What time did she leave the party?
About 8:30, maybe a little earlier.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. I paid the sitter and went to bed.
Why did you only report your wife missing this morning?
I thought she would have called up last night from the bar.
Thanks for answering our questions, Mr. Terrellson. You'll need to go downtown to identify
Dwie
your
dobre
wife's body.
reakcje.
I should have taken her dancing.
In my experience, Mac, if you give in to broads, you'll be giving in to them your entire life.
Appreciate your time, sir.
You believe this guy's story?
Kind of rings true.
I recognize that guy from the papers. He's a cop.
Looks like a match with the ligature marks.
Murek. Czy jest jeszcze coś tu ciekawego znajdę?
Doesn't look like anything. Circumstantial.
Please, can I have some time to explain to my daughters?
If that heel won't buy me something nice,
You can
I'll
drive.
find someone who will.
Facet nie wyglądał na winnego. Przynajmniej tak mi się wydaje. Bar u magnata.
Broadhead stock there.
Gents, drink?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD.
I'm Benny Clough. This about Teresa Terrellson?
Yes, it is.
I heard about it on the radio. They're saying it was that Black Dahlia freak again? God damn it. Yeah, I rang that husband of hers. The babysitter said he was out.
If you don't mind, we have a few questions. What time did Teresa leave?
Around 10:30, I think.
We don't have time for you to be making guesses. What time was it exactly?
Hey, give me a break. I don't remember it to the second.
Who was she with? We've had reports about a tall, gaunt-looking hobo. He wasn't here last night?
I get plenty of bums in here, but nothing to fit that description.
The likelihood is that whoever she left here with killed her. Give it up, Benny.
All right, 2 creeps were all over her, promising to take her dancing.
You get a good look at these guys?
Sure. I got a good look. One of them was a sailor in uniform. His cap said, USS Indiana.
And the other men?
The other guy is Richard Bates. He's sitting in the back right now. Red polo shirt.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Clough. We'll take it from here.
Hey, no problem.
This is Bates.
That's him.
LAPD! Don't make me chase you, shitbird! Can't let the son of a bitch get away.
Bates! We just want to talk.
Come on, got a ride. Get in and drive. I thought you were gonna leave me there.
Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands.
Come on, Phelps, you're letting this lust get away from you.
I don't think the killer would be kicking back in the bar where he met the victim.
Listen, a creature of habit is your killer. For some reason, they're sticklers for routine. I'll try to shoot out his tire. Wish me luck. Let's end this farce.
All right, you got me. I've had enough. Show me your hands.
Okay, Bates. You're gonna answer some questions.
I have a choice in this.
Nie.
Last night, you went drinking with a lady in the bar. Now she's dead, and your face is all messed up.
I'm in the clear on that. She preferred a sailor. You could lay it off on him. Are we finished?
Do you want my partner to sap you? Tell us what we want to know.
She was okay. Drunk. Pissed off at her old man, wanting to go dancing. I thought I'd ply her with a few drinks and get my end away. Looks like your salty had the same idea.
So what happened when you left the bar?
Sailor boy laid one on me. A cheap shot. After that, I don't know.
You've done time, haven't you, Richard? Is that why you ran?
I'm on parole.
On what offense?
Sexual assault. Look, I was lying there on the sidewalk. He flags a cab and jumps in with the broad.
We're taking you in, Bates.
How come?
Just for a chat. Nice private chat. I'll explain my theory of once a degenerate, always a degenerate.
Nowy strój mam,
Take him to
wywiadowca.
Central. He's a material witness in a murder case. Find him a cozy cell.
Richard here knows the drill.
Fajnie, mam nowy ciuszek.
That's that cop. Seems like a decent guy.
Phelps, 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Any messages for me?
Just a second. You have one new message from Lieutenant Fleischer. Bartender Benny Clough reports victim Teresa Terrellson last seen entering the yellow cab number 3591.
Can you have an APB put out on that vehicle? We'll need all sightings relayed to car 11K.
Sure, Detective. All radio dispatched now.
Were there any incident reports filed in the vicinity of Barron's Bar on North Beaudry Avenue? We're tracking a sailor who was involved in a fight outside the bar.
I can check the reports, Detective. I have a message for you from Captain Donnelly. Message reads, James Jessup, U.S. Navy able seaman, has information relevant to your case. Jessup is currently being detained at Central Station.
Could be our man. Thanks.
Are you drunk, mister? Or are you just cracked?
I'm going up to the lake to watch the races on Saturday.
You know the way. You can drive.
Smoke bullseyes.
zaparkował. Koleś mnie oszukał.
I can't believe Teresa's dead.
Ale coś tu jeszcze musi być, skoro każe mi tu wrócić grę.
Advice?
You want my gut feeling? I'll tell you. This guy did it. Now we just gotta find some evidence.
So she went out without her handbag? At least she was spared that particular indignity. She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind.
Ty, i to zabłocone. Tam było
We can
błoto.
see if Pinker can match the impression to the crime scene.
Please, can I have some time to explain to my daughters?
Where's that cab got you now?
Car 11K, your suspect is...
The surge continues.
Car 11K, yellow cab 3591 was just seen leaving Dewey's car sales, driving north on Union Drive. KGPL. KGPL to any unit. A citizen reports suspicious activity 111 South Alameda. Stand by for any Central unit. 11K, patrolman reports yellow cab 3591 at Loma and Union Drive, headed northeast.
He's moving.
LAPD, we're investigating a murder.
What's that got to do with me?
The fare you picked up from Barron's bar last night. What was the woman wearing?
It's a green dress. Oh, don't tell me something's happened to her.
Tell me about her.
She was with this sailor, and he was all over her. She wasn't having any of it. Said she just wanted to dance. But he had that look in his eye.
Where did you drop them off?
It's at the Crystal Ballroom.
What time?
After midnight. 12:30? Something like that.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
Well, that's gonna ruin my day.
Zaraz mam sobie na spokojnie pojechać, załatwić tam to.
11K, go ahead with the further.
Car 11Ks.
Konserwy?
LAPD, stop what you're doing.
Ah, shit.
Up for some of the rough stuff, are you?
Phelps, leave him be.
Oh. You! Get back here!
You idiot!
Put your hands in the air!
Frank Morgan? Yeah, look, it was Harry's idea to boost the truck full of fishes, not mine. I was in the bar late talking and we...
Save it. You two idiots can say hello to Adrian for me.
Oh, god damn it.
Nice.
You can drive.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
He's in interview too.
Thanks. What do you make of him?
Sailor on furlough who looks like he's in trouble and knows it.
I want to make homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that death.
Hey, advice won't get any on the side.
Okay, keep moving,
Detectives
Loverboy.
Phelps and Galloway. We know why you're here, Jessup, so it would be best if you answered our questions truthfully.
I don't want any trouble. That's why I'm here. I heard on the radio about this lady getting killed. I got leave from my CO to come down straight away.
So why did you kill her?
I didn't kill anyone. Look, you need to believe me.
Let's start at the beginning. You went to Barron's bar. What time did you arrive?
I got a 24-hour pass. I got there around 7.
That's where you met Teresa Terrellson?
Sure. We had a couple of drinks.
So you tried to make a woman who was incredibly drunk?
Look, I'm not proud of myself, but I never hurt her.
You took her dancing?
That's right. Caught a cab to the Crystal Ballroom.
You had a fist fight with Richard Bates over Mrs. Terrellson.
You met the guy? He's a creep. You should take a look at him for this.
He's pointing the finger directly at you, Jessup.
I only had one night before I was back in the tub. He had all the time in the world to look for some action. I belted him. I'd do it again. She was better off with me.
Sure. You're a shining example of chivalry, Jessup. Where did you go after the Crystal Ballroom?
I think the wind had gone out of her sails by then. She caught a cab, and I caught a bus back to the base.
We spoke to the cab driver. Tell us what really happened at the Crystal Ballroom.
I'd had enough. She was all upset about her husband bawling about her kids. She looked old. Left around closing, maybe 1:30. Got on a bus and she fell asleep on my shoulder.
Which bus?
An All-American, 249. I went past her place. She jumped off and I stayed on it downtown. After that, I caught another bus to San Pedro. The Indiana's down there. She's being scrapped.
And that was the last you saw of Teresa?
Yeah, that's right. We didn't say much. I think she was kind of embarrassed.
The cab driver said that you were getting pretty familiar with Teresa.
That's not how I'd put it.
But she wasn't coming across.
No, she wasn't.
We're holding you till we can clear this with the driver.
Yeah, my CO said as much.
Can you put the guy in two in a cell and inform the commander?
Sure, Detective. Got a message for you. Sighting of your disfigured hobo on Grand between Temple and Sunset. And it looks like the Beau has a record, too. He's wanted in connection with 2 female assaults.
Thanks.
What now? Drive all the way to San Pedro and check his locker?
Let's see if the bus story checks out.
There's a depot at 1660 Beverly Boulevard.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes. LAPD, we'd like a word with you.
Save it for someone who's interested. They're fascists. Come to move us on and steal what little we have left.
6 rounds won't get us far.
Leave the state over 7. You're the holdout.
How do we do that?
Like this. Buck down, fella.
You want your rightful share? We need to fight
Disciples know
for
what you
it.
did last night?
Joe Lewis.
This is socialist utopia, bud.
What's your name?
Comrade Stalin.
Very funny. We'll find out from your personal effects.
Stuart Ackerman.
You're under suspicion for murder, Ackerman. We're taking you downtown.
You can't do anything more to me than what the Japanese have already done.
Psychopata jakiś.
The Kremlin's over here, Phelps. Toss it and see what you find.
Still working, Jack. I'm off to the Lighthouse Club in Santa Monica.
Hello, Jack. Mr. Benson, this is Courtney Sheldon. He's a buddy of mine from the war.
Well, I'm sure you two will want to polish some old war stories.
Slow down.
Mureczek.
Looks familiar. Safe bet it'll match the mark under Teresa Terrelson's chin.
A nie jest podobny do sznura, który miał mąż zaczepiony na łodzi.
Ackerman doesn't look like much of a dancer.
This is going to help us.
I'm at a loss.
Why aren't we back at the house giving the husband hell? He's got to be high on your list, Phelps. He's high on mine.
Jedziemy do męża. Coś mi się wydaje, że koleś kręci to dość mocno.
You're behind the wheel.
Three suspects in the can and one on the hoof. And still no hard evidence on any of them.
KGPL to car 11K. 11K, come in.
11K, go ahead.
Patrolman reporting that Bobby Ross's car game is breaking up at midnight.
11K, roger that. Only have time to get downtown.
It's possible. Have them bring him in.
KGPL, we have Lars Terrelson picked up.
11K, roger.
Blue Room Jazz Club. U mnie w mieście też kiedyś
The
był
husband has an alibi.
klub jazzowy.
I can't believe Teresa's dead.
Help me out.
Search the place. We need something on this guy. Something that'll stick.
No dobra, ale chyba przeszukałam wszystko w tym domu. Może coś u dziewczynek? Zawsze musi wejść.
Lars was out in the rain last night.
Teresa definitely took the bus from the Crystal Ballroom. We need to find that bus. We need to check the bus depot.
Can you drive to this one?
Koleś wstał, zamknął drzwi. Inteligentne moby. (248 czy 246?
And thank you, ma'am. You have a safe trip now. Where are you boys headed today?
LAPD. We're after the driver of All-American 249. Would have been around midnight onwards last night.
Just a minute. Frank Zeffirelli. He's your man.
Where can we find him?
Frank is out on the 7-4.
Can you tell us the route?
Hang on. I should have it mapped out here somewhere.
What the hell? Skeleton goes into a bar and orders a beer
There's such a thing
and
as
mop.
soap, you know?
Wow, that looks like a beauty.
That's that cop. Seems like a decent guy.
Isn't that the cop who caught the guy that was pretending to be dead?
She went to 5-star goddamn wedding.
I need to run the loop.
We're not going to drive the whole thing, are we?
Won't take long. We have a siren.
I don't need this.
All-American 7-4. Let's go get him.
You're behind the wheel.
And where exactly are we going?
Serio, mam iść po całym mieście szukać tego zastaranego autobusu?
Yeah, the bum took a swipe at me.
We're going this way. This could be a long trip, Cole.
Or it could be a short one.
And here's me without my hip flask and only a pain in the ass for company.
Way to kick off the drive in high spirits, Rusty. Comments like that put me in just the right mood for some legwork.
Cheap.
You know what your problem is? You don't like hard work. This kind of rigorous search is what police work is all about. Discipline.
Save it, Phelps. You're just as bored as I am. That's the bus we're looking for. Ease in behind her and get her to the side of the road.
There's some kind of problem, buddy?
LAPD. We're investigating a murder. You had a sailor and a woman in a green dress on your bus late last night?
That's correct.
And the woman got off first, around 2 a.m.?
Yeah, that's right. And the sailor stayed on all the way to downtown.
Can you tell us where you let the woman off?
On California Street. To tell you the truth, she looked a little lost, like she got off on the wrong stop or something. I didn't like dropping her off near that hobo camp.
You've been a big help, Mr. Zeffirelli.
Those sailor boy escaped by the seat of his bell-bottom trousers. He left the broad alive.
Left her by the hobo camp.
Which means he's as good as killed her.
We can't eliminate any of them, but the disfigured man should be our starting point.
I'm gonna call for some backup. These bows hate cops.
you drunk, mister, or you just cracked? What'd I miss?
Come on, Phelps, on your bike.
You think the vice boys get any on the side?
Zobaczyć gdzie.
I'm stumped. Ideas? Come on. If Ackerman won't play ball, we'll rattle his teeth until he does.
I want to make homicide. You know you made it.
Gdzie jest ten koleś?
I used to be indecisive. Now, I'm not so sure.
Are you liquored up? I want to make homicide.
Ackerman, you were in the Marines.
How do you know?
The Corps selected big guys for flamethrower duty. That's how you got the burns.
Life expectancy was 5 minutes for a guy in flamethrower detail. What kind of a government puts weight like that on a man's shoulders?
You'll get no argument from me. It was a heavy load.
You feeling sorry for this smelly fuck?
Why did you kill Mrs. Terrellson?
I have no recollection of the people I have killed.
You hate women, Ackerman?
More than you could ever imagine.
How much did you hate Mrs. Terrellson?
I ache to put my seed in them. Afterwards, I have no use for them.
A bus driver dropped Mrs. Terrellson near your camp around 2 a.m. Why did you take her up to the hill?
Which hill? I have many places. I go where I please.
You are clearly insane, Ackerman. The state of California does not execute mental patients.
I don't know the names of the women I've killed, but I've killed many of them. Their necks are so fragile.
Where were you around 2 a.m. last night?
Czyli to wychodzi, że i poprzednie kobiety, które zabił, mogą być...
You were up on the hill. You were seen during the day. We have a witness. We have evidence. Come clean with me, Ackerman, and I'll see what I can do for you.
I despise your pity. You have nothing that links me to this woman. You've got your orders. You're supposed to string me up because of who I am and what I represent.
Stuart Ackerman, I am charging you with the murder of Teresa Terrellson.
To wychodzi tak jakby on zabił też te poprzednie. Albo i nie.
A man down on his luck I can abide. But a filthy red who chooses to live outside the rules of society, I cannot stomach. Maybe poor Teresa Terrellson will provide the catalyst we need. I've spoken to the chief and the mayor, and I think it's time we send some men in to remove the godless and send them on their way over the county line. A grand day that will be, gentlemen. And a grand result you have brought me. You two are fast becoming my finest crusaders.
Kolejny awans. Pięknie.
And now my heart's a blazing ruin. You say that you were only fooling. Don't walk away. Don't do me wrong. Don't leave me singing this torched song when I'm burning.
Of course we will look into it. Yes, I'm aware that it's an election year. Keep a hold of your hat, Counselor. Now is not the time to lose your nerve. It would appear that someone has hocked a rose gold wedding ring and matching engagement ring. Sound familiar?
Deirdre Muller.
Press the pawnbroker and see what you can find out. The address is 348 South Main Street. The Muller case goes before the grand jury next week, and the DA does not want any egg on his face. Then get out to the railroad depot on Santa Fe Avenue. We have another poor unfortunate found this morning beside a railroad line. A 40-year-old white woman.
Right, Skipper.
I don't care. I don't go in for letting gangsters off scot-free.
Another body and Deirdre Muller's ring. The Emperor may soon have to come to terms with the fact that he's wearing no clothes.
What exactly did you get that book of riddles shoved up your ass, Phelps? That what your old man paid college tuition for?
That bum took a swipe at me. Put him down in my sap.
I want to make homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that death.
You've got to admit, this is looking odd.
Anyone could pawn a ring.
But if you take it along with all of the other indicators...
Cole, Hugo Moeller was identified by the school's groundkeeper. He's our guy.
Witnesses have fingered the wrong guy before.
He ran, for God's sake.
And he always maintained he was set up.
How can I help you boys?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. You have a rose gold wedding and engagement ring?
David Bremner. Am I gonna get something for this pledge? Gave that bum money, now you guys are gonna leave me short.
How much did you give him?
$50?
Try another number.
20?
Try 10. Feel lucky you're getting it.
I have the rings right here.
What's this mark here?
Maker's mark. Usually traceable. That one came from Hartfield's Jewelry down on Broadway.
Thanks for the tip.
Okay.
Does this mark mean anything?
Hallmark. Gives you an idea of the quality.
What have you got on the guy who brought these in?
Goes by the name of Percy B. Shelley. Gave an address. 15 Poland Street, London, Tulare County.
Can you give us a description of the man who pawned these rings?
Not sure. Medium height, medium build. Dark hair, I think. Sorry. He just had one of those forgettable faces.
We'll be in touch, Mr. Bremner. We have a problem.
We could have the local troopers check out the Tulare County address.
The address is bogus. Perp is having fun with us. The guy who's been sending the Dahlia letters is also the guy who pawned these rings.
How do you figure that?
Percy Bysshe Shelley wrote the poem that came with the Dahlia letter. The Dahlia letters are genuine. The man who killed Elizabeth Short may have also killed Deirdre Mullen.
And how do we prove that, Skipper ain't gonna like this one bit.
We're gonna have to rely on this guy tripping up when he's under the bed.
KGPL to all units. Citizen reports man with a gun. Union and Rockwood Street. Union and Rockwood Street. Unit to handle code 2. Identify.
daleko to jest?
KGPL to all units. Citizen reports man with a gun. Union and Rockwood Street. Union and Rockwood Street. Unit to handle code 2. Identify.
11K, go ahead.
11 King. Citizen reports man with a gun.
God damn it! I said cough it up! I'm not gonna say it again.
Say kaya!
That's it, old man. I've had enough of your gibberish.
Give it up! LAPD!
Hey, what's where you going? Oh my gosh! Hurry! You can still catch him. Gun!
You wait. 5 years from now, all our jobs will be done by robots.
Lock them up and throw away the key.
Surrender now, or I will use deadly force.
I killed it. I'm sorry.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
You boys ready? Follow me.
We should keep this development with the rings under our hat until we speak with the captain.
We're all on the same team, Rusty.
Chain of command, Phelps. The skipper will decide who needs to know. You got it?
I get it, Rusty. I just don't like it. Hard, isn't it?
Yeah. I look after all the rail depots.
What have you got?
The Negro, Nelson Gaines, called it in. I came down here to make sure him and the other guy, Jameson, stuck around.
Jameson found the body?
Something like that. Guy makes me sick.
We'll talk to the coroner. Keep an eye on both of them. Detective Phelps and Galloway, homicide. Can you tell me exactly what happened?
We were shutting cars over to the main line when I saw this man here lying on top of this woman. The woman wasn't moving and seemed to be in a bad way.
What time was this?
About 7:30 this morning, sir.
Thanks for your help. Have you given Patrolman Hart your details?
I have, sir.
Thank you. You can go now.
Leave the car in front of the hydrant and I'll give you a ticket.
We could go over to the lot and see what they know about her.
That's going to be difficult, Cole. Keystone Studio lot closed back in 41.
Someone was trying to get her to come home. Maybe someone at Mensch's will remember her. This is a chit for personal items, not booze. It's an angle worth investigating. Another missing ring.
Certainly seems I've been swabbing a lot of bare fingers recently.
smell?
Very good. There is the usual evacuation smell, but it appears she's been living rough for quite some time.
Very strong smell of alcohol.
Well, the autopsy will tell, but I would assume that she was inebriated.
Can you be more exact about the time of death?
No later than 2 a.m. The state the body was in, a 1 or 2 hour window is the best I can do.
What have we got here?
White female, approximately 40 years of age, lipstick smudges on the face, but no writing, at least nothing legible. A blunt force trauma to the temple, nose, and eye regions. Ligature marks point to the probable cause of death being strangulation.
Any idea of the time of death?
From her temperature, after midnight would be my guess.
Zielona.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address on Levine's Liquor. Closest store to the Santa Fe Avenue rail yard, if possible.
Just a moment, Detective. Closest store would be the one at 939 South Hope Street.
Thanks for your help.
To powinnaś już spać.
What now?
I'm pretty sure we didn't join all the dots at that crime scene, Phelps. Let's go back.
Detective Phelps, LAPD homicide.
John Ferdinand Jameson.
We need you to answer some questions, John.
If you don't mind, I prefer Ferdinand.
Don't push your luck, knucklehead.
What were you doing to the body, Ferdinand?
Are you sure you won't be upset?
Try me, Ferdinand.
I was kissing her.
Wow.
It's not against the law.
Shut up.
There's no
Take
law
your
against
beating
it.
like a man.
Turn out your pockets, Ferdinand. Classic Carmine.
Ej, to sama szminka, co była przy
this yours,
poprzednich zabójstwach.
I found it near her purse. I thought she could use some lipstick.
Rusty, stop! Don't hit him. You went through her purse?
It wasn't like she needed it. I took a look.
Did you take any money?
Wasn't any to take. I found her lipstick and her matchbook over on the mat. Not much else.
You found the body?
Yes, I did. I work here. I was coming off shift and headed home.
Why didn't you report the body, Jameson? Do you know how this is going to look to a jury?
A jury? What gives? I could tell that she was dead. I came through here about midnight last night. She wasn't here then.
Let me belt him again.
You're under arrest, Jameson. We'll see how this plays out. Until then, you can think a little on how you'd like to be treated if you were found dead.
I'm telling you, it's not illegal. Me and some friends of mine...
Clyde, you get this sack of shit into a cell. I'll deal with him later.
Sure, Rusty.
Barber.
What are you thinking, Ray?
The city keeps tossing us dead bodies. We're just running to catch up.
What do you think?
I say we try the liquor store next. I could get a short dog for the car.
You know the way. You can drive.
You read that those goddamn Chinese want to sell the relief food that we're sending them?
Yeah. Yeah, I read about that.
People are starving. They can't do that.
They want to sell the food to fund the civil war against the communists.
Really? I guess that's okay then.
Armies can't fight without food. You spend all your money on weapons, but you still have to have the will to fight. Fortunately, the Reds will win in China.
Watch your mouth. You know what you're saying?
The people of this country overthrew a king. You think the Chinese will balk at an emperor if they are starving?
Drink, fellas.
Phelps, Galloway, homicide. We need to ask you some questions concerning Evelyn Summers.
I'm Walter Mensch. Evelyn Summers, what is it now?
You knew Evelyn?
As well as I wanted to know Evelyn. She's a pain in the ass, always coming in here, cadging drinks, never had any money. She was in just a couple of nights ago.
Did she ever tell you where she was staying?
I don't know. I think she was living rough. She had that kind of stunk about her.
Who did she drink with?
A bunch of these guys. Ask around.
What's your name?
Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Mind if I ask you some questions, Mr. McCaffrey?
I'm just a starving writer, Detective. What do you want to ask about?
Evelyn Summers, and why she was found beaten and strangled in the rail depot on Santa Fe.
Okay. I see your point.
How well did you know her?
I can't say that I knew her. It was more like I was aware of her.
Did you see Evelyn last night?
No, I was at home, writing.
Do you want to get dragged into this, McCaffrey? Do you want us to get interested in you?
She hung out with this powder puff, James Tiernan. They haunted the public library together.
How well do you know James Tiernan?
I know he works some kind of plebeian job at Rawlings Bowling Alley.
Rawlings. I know that place. Corner of 9th and Grand. A lot of cops bowl there on Tuesday nights.
Do you have a criminal record, Mr. McCaffrey?
Nothing serious. I've had a few skirmishes.
You want to save me some time, or do you want me to look up your file?
Industrial disputes, strikes, workers' rights, that kind of thing.
A regular fifth columnist. Nice to meet you, comrade.
Thank you for the information, Mr. McCaffrey.
Zielona.
Any ideas?
I say we try the liquor store next. I could get a short dog for the car.
You a friend of Evelyn Summers?
Who's asking?
Very cute. You know who's asking.
I know my rights.
You don't have any. Answer the question.
Evelyn mooches for drinks. I don't have any time for that.
Was that so hard?
Keep writing me, copper.
Can you go out to this one?
What can I do for you?
LAPD, Phelps and Galloway. We're making inquiries into the murder of Evelyn Summers.
Evelyn? She's dead?
You knew Evelyn Summers, Mr.
Robbins. Yes, I knew Evelyn. I was a good friend of her ex-husband. She kept some of her stuff here.
Can you show us, please?
Sure. Come this way.
You got some fine stock here, Mr. Robbins. You know, you let us take some for the road, this case might get solved a lot quicker.
He's joking, Mr. Robbins.
When exactly did Evelyn work in the pictures?
A few years ago. She worked in legal copyrights for music.
I'm guessing Evelyn hadn't held down a job for quite some time before she was killed. Rawlings Bowling Alley. Maybe Evelyn did something other than drink in her spare time. She wasn't always such a loner.
Też miała przyjaciół. Co ją skłoniło do tego?
Evelyn was reading Aristotle?
Evelyn wasn't stupid. The only stupid thing about her was her need to drink.
And she was borrowing books from Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Nie jestem pisarz. Siostra, córka.
We're trying to account for Evelyn's movements yesterday.
She came by in the morning.
A social visit? To pick up some of her things?
She had a couple of bucks and bought a quart of rye.
Any idea where the money came from?
She didn't mention it, but she did say the booze was a present for a boy. She said they had been fighting and she had to make it up to him.
Were you and Evelyn close, Mr. Robbins?
Many people will be sad she's gone. I'll be one of the few.
When Evelyn bought the booze, did she say who she was meeting or where she was going?
A young drinking friend of hers, I think. Don't recall his name.
You know a friend of Evelyn's by the name of McCaffrey?
Not personally.
Kłamie.
We're struggling for leads, Robbins. Did she know McCaffrey?
She idolized him. From what I gather, the feeling was far from mutual. He seems to peddle a revolutionary stance, fixing the ills of society. You could see how it would appeal to down-and-outs like Evelyn.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Robbins.
No problem. Hey, I'd like to make arrangements for the funeral. You think I could get in touch with Evelyn's mother?
Put in a call to the watch commander at Central Station, Mr. Robbins. He'll be trying to reach the next of kin.
Thanks. Get the guy, huh? Evelyn never hurt anybody.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed?
You're behind the wheel.
Car 11K, Car 11 King, come in. Car 11K, Car 11 King, KGPL.
You can drive.
You wait. 5 years from now, all our jobs will be done by robots.
Find the goddamn effort.
The captain is downstairs with Ray Pinker and Carruthers.
The thing was, he was a really nice guy. I felt loud tolerating.
Yeah, I want to make homicide. You know you've got it made if you can get to that desk.
What's this about, Captain?
Ray and Mal have some concerns over the Henry and Muller cases, which I don't want aired outside of this room.
The evidence is solid, Captain.
I agree, Rusty. It's just that corpses keep piling up.
Copycats.
I've been banging the same drum. But the notes and the lipstick messages.
Evelyn Summers, Cartel Classic Carmine. Each woman, same brand, same color.
Teresa Terrelson didn't have a lipstick message.
Technically, you're right, Rusty. She didn't have any lipstick. But she did have a message. We found it beneath her dress, scraped with a sharp stick.
What did it say?
You sure you want to know?
Ray?
As far as we can be sure, it said cunt BD.
That's one way of looking at it.
Looking at what?
Cunt is all about access, Phelps. You're married, so yours is mortgaged. Some of us like to pay by installments. This guy doesn't like to pay at all.
Why are you so angry, Mal?
Because I just had to fire one of my assistants. He was a friend of Jameson's. God knows what he might have been up to.
Captain, we have good leads in the Summers case, but it's up to you to decide how we proceed.
Keep this under your hat for now. And to follow up on Evelyn Summers, I want daily reports.
You don't see that every day.
We got our orders. Back to the Summers case. Get an address for McCaffrey. He'll have blown the bar. I'll meet you outside.
That's the guy. I hear he's an honest cop. Now, there's an oxymoron for you. Mary says he'll sing. Only if I guarantee he walked.
Operator, message for KGPL.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address for a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Grosvenor McCaffrey. Apartment 6, 126 Yale Street, between Ord and Alpine.
Thanks, ma'am.
want to make homicide. I mean, you know you made it if you got that death.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
And where exactly are we going?
Let me pose a question.
Depends. What's it got to do with?
Morals. Would it bother you to put the wrong person away?
Depends.
On what?
On whether anyone except the poor son of a bitch in the Slammer ever found out.
Hello, Rusty. Two on your usual lane?
I'm Detective Phelps. Homicide.
You must be new. What's your shoe size?
This is business, Florence. You got a guy works here by the name of Tiernan?
Sure we do. He's a pin setter. Clears the jams, works the gutters. Go right in. He'll be hopping around the lanes toward the back. He's a nice boy.
Thanks, ma'am. Let's go get him.
Wait, 5 years from now, all our jobs will be done by robots.
That cherry pie was delish.
So what next?
Well, the kid is in back somewhere. Let's pick him up. Down the left side of the alley.
Where's that goddamn waitress?
I just don't know how to dance too long.
Oh, sister, I was so tight I couldn't walk.
You're the reason, brothers and sisters.
I'm going up to the lake to watch the races on Saturday. I like you. People say I have no taste, but I like you.
Boy, that steak had seen better days. Are you drunk, mister, or are you just cracked?
That cherry pie was delish.
Tiernan! LAPD! There!
What are you waiting for? Get after him!
We might go faster if we weren't carrying the extra weight. These are flashy cars to be parked outside a bowling alley.
The lanes attract a fast-living individual with money to burn.
Or a middle-aged individual with the need to feel virile.
Phelps, you gotta get me closer! Another runner. Well, at least we've got a suspect.
Why do they always run? I'm sure we've got the wrong person in more than one of these homicides, but they always seem to land it.
You know, your theories are not airtight by any means. Hit him! Clean this asshole off the road!
If this isn't the killer, we can at least get him for reckless endangerment.
That's unless he runs into a wall and saves himself the trouble. Keep it shut! That's the end of that. It's about fucking time.
Put your hands where I can see them.
Put your hands up in the air, put your hands up in the air. Kolejny przestępca zamknięty. Nie, bardziej go chyba zawiozą na przesłuchanie. Mieszkanie. Moje autko zostało trochę w niekomfortowym miejscu. Trudno.
McCaffrey is in apartment 6.
Trzy. Na pięterku. 5, 6. Dzień dobry, pokój. Open the door, motherfucker.
Doesn't look like anybody's home.
Ło. Łapniaka. A co tam będę się żałować? Połowa listu.
Torn from the letter we found beside the body. At the very least, I'd say it ties McCaffrey to the scene.
Ale oto.
He said he was at home. He said he didn't know her. And we have the book.
Let's see Carruthers argue his way out of this one.
Is that you, Grosvenor? Who are you guys? What are you doing in here?
We're from the LAPD, ma'am. Do you know where we might find McCaffrey?
I'm his neighbor. Is he in trouble?
Look, lady, we need to find him, and in a hurry. Are you gonna give me trouble?
He has a pigeon coop up on the roof. He spends his mornings up there when he's been drinking.
How do we get up there?
Down the hall and up the stairs.
Drunk and in command of a carrier pigeon. Surely we can write him up for that. A citation, at least.
That's a guy from the papers. Solved that big case.
Nice going.
Grosvenor McCaffrey! Running on a hangover, McCaffrey? Sit down and we'll talk.
We'll get our wheels.
You a runner, McCaffrey? Stay and fight the good fight.
Be careful! He looks dangerous!
Give it up, LAPD!
O, dostał w mordzie. Oopsie.
We need to get downtown and wrap this thing up. It's gotta be McCaffrey. Unless Tiernan set him up. You don't think that asshole Jameson could have done it, do you? Whoever did it. So what's that Dahlia thing?
How do you know that McCaffrey didn't do the Dahlia, man?
We have a list of over 200 suspects. His name was never on it.
If you think the list is exhaustive, Rusty, who am I to argue?
Listen, let's just work the case at hand, shall we? Then we can sit down and put all the puzzle pieces together at a later date.
I'll hold you to that.
You sure you can make it stick with one of these suspects, gentlemen?
It's either McCaffrey or Tiernan, sir. I think Jameson is an aberration.
All right. I'll deal with that degraded lunatic myself. He's got some fearful retribution coming. Tiernan isn't one, McCaffrey isn't two. I want a confession from one of them. Don't fail me, young fellas.
I want to make homicide. You know you made it if you can get that desk.
You ready to answer some questions?
You think I have all the answers?
People who run from the police usually have something to hide.
Touché, detective. Let's see where this takes us.
You told us you barely knew Evelyn Summers.
She hung around sometimes. I had very little to do with her.
You'll have to do better than that, Grosvenor. We know about you and Evelyn.
Evelyn was a lush, and a boring one at that. You can't link her to me.
Zobaczę z tą książką.
We know that you thought enough of her to loan out your copy of the Metaphysics.
I what? I did no such thing. That bitch stole that book from my apartment. The impudent fucking moron.
And that made you angry?
Angry? I was livid. Looking up at me with that stupid face of hers, begging me to forgive her. Aha. Very good. That's one to you, detective.
Evelyn died sometime around midnight. Remind me, where were you?
I was at home, writing. I'm working on a manuscript.
You're lying, McCaffrey. You were out at the rail yard.
And what do you have that proves I was there? You're going to have to do better than that, detective.
It's either going to be you or Tiernan, Grosvenor.
Make it stick, detective. The party has good lawyers.
Hey, you think those vice boys get any on the side? You think the vice
Sam
boys get
zawaliłam
any on the
sprawę.
side?
Chciałam zakwestionować, a nie.
Wrinkled was not one of the things I wanted to be when I grew up.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to put him down to 1 round.
Zawsze ten sam problem.
Why did you run, Tiernan?
I was the last one to see Evelyn that night. I knew you would think it was me.
Can you describe your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn.
Sounds like half an answer to me, Tiernan. Were you sleeping with her?
That's none of your business.
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at her once and laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it?
She wanted something of his.
Well, are there any leads? No way.
You don't like McCaffrey, do you,
Fuck.
Tiernan?
He's full of the common man routine, but he props up a bar like the rest of us. Evelyn thought he was going to be a great novelist. He had nothing but vitriol for her.
You and Evelyn were drinking together last night, and she had no other place to stay.
I don't know what happened last night. I don't remember.
Is the captain in? See it or not, yes. Do I need to fill this out?
If you don't give me some reason to think differently about this, Tiernan, I'm gonna have to go to the DA.
I drank half a bottle of scotch. I don't remember a goddamn thing.
Do you own a car, Tiernan?
No, I don't.
Have access to a lug wrench?
Well, we use a lot of them to clear jams in the pin setting machines.
You didn't know about the insurance money, I take it. That's correct.
Okej, łyżka do tego jest znaleziona, ale ja ją znalazłam w mieszkaniu tamtego kolesia.
You really think I'm gonna squeal? Yeah, okay.
I want the truth. I think you broke into McCaffrey's apartment and planted a lug wrench there.
I didn't do that, and there's no way you can prove any different.
No, anything about this mess? No entiendo.
As hard as this is for you to contemplate, I really loved Evelyn.
Wszystkie źle.
She was kind and gentle to me.
Evelyn was missing a ring from her right hand.
That's strange. She always wore it. Big black circular disc with a white E in the middle. It was made from an old typewriter key, a present from the prop department at her old movie studio.
We're going to talk to McCaffrey. You need to think about what you've told us, Tiernan. You're not in the clear.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Need a drink. I got the jitters again.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need the jacket on a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Just a moment, Detective. McCaffrey was formerly under surveillance by the Red Squad. Convictions for petty theft. Dishonorable discharge from the Army during training at Syracuse. Assault on a local woman. Says he almost beat the woman to death.
Thank you.
I've been in this job 20 years. I never fired myself.
You were in the war?
Yes, I was. Seeing the things that I saw, it changes a man. I came back here determined to change things. All I wanted was a pen and an opportunity to speak out.
You told us before that you had only minor run-ins with the police. You didn't mention petty theft.
I've never been in trouble for violence. That's the salient point here, isn't it?
You're lying, McCaffrey. You have a history of violence towards women.
How do you turn a couple parking tickets and a petty theft misdemeanor into an assault charge?
We know all about you and your dishonorable discharge, beating some poor woman near to death in Syracuse. You've never been in combat, McCaffrey. Your whole life is a fraud.
She was a goddamn peasant whore! She tried to steal from my wallet. I could have fought for this country. I could have...
You beat her because she stole from you, because she tried to outsmart you.
The ignorant audacity of the bitch. What is a man supposed to do? Sit there and take it? How is a man supposed to call himself a man?
And Evelyn Summers, a poor, drunken nobody, stole your book.
And she got what was coming to her.
Grosvenor McCaffrey, I'm charging you with the murder of Evelyn Summers. She was a sad lady who never hurt anyone except herself. I hope God finds a way to forgive you.
Congratulations, boys, you bagged the fine catch. Another red to boot. Grand. Now, I want you to put this business about a repeat offender out of your mind. This McCaffrey creature shows no remorse, and neither will the grand jury. You would have to walk a long mile to find a better candidate for an unmarked plot at the prison graveyard.
Nice. Będziesz pisał zza krat.